Given the way 2020 had kind of sucked all of us into a weird vortex where the passage of time had no meaning, it's probably easy to forget how long ago different events took place. It's hard to believe that just over a year ago we had some major codec developments in the world of videography. This was when both Blackmagic RAW and ProRes opened up their formats to make editing life easier for all of us. Unfortunately, there is never any right answers to these questions like these, since user experiences, tastes, and opinions always vary. Today I'm going to be covering Blackmagic RAW and ProRes RAW, and the benefits of each and their disadvantages. And we will also be going over what ProRes options are available in the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. So, let's get started. As always, make sure to subscribe below and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our content. Being that I've talked about mainly Blackmagic products in the past couple of videos, I am going to start today's discussion with the ProRes RAW. And while it's not available in the Pocket 4K, it still gets us into understanding a little bit more about what ProRes is and the trajectory it's on, and also its advantages and disadvantages over BRAW. So let's get started. ProRes RAW is an all-intra codec. This means that the encoding is intra-frame, where the compression is applied to each individual frame. There are a few reasons why some prefer this codec. First of all, while you are in the process of editing, you get a really smooth playback, which is always a great thing. All-intra puts less strain on your computer, which means you need less hardware to edit. Being able to accomplish all of your editing on just a laptop is a very attractive feature of ProRes RAW. There are a lot of you out there that transcode your footage into All-Intra before editing, and I can understand why. ProRes RAW also saves a lot on data from the previous versions of the format and does not skimp on quality to accomplish this. Part of the way this is accomplished is that previous versions of ProRes had a set bitrate, while the new RAW format evolved their variable frame rate format, giving the bitrate more fluctuation. The data rates that you get from this fluctuation is determined by what you're shooting, as opposed to the previous versions where the data rate was constant regardless. ProRes RAW also automatically does decode and demosaic all of your footage. All around, those are some pretty good benefits, but what about the other side of the coin? What are those disadvantages to ProRes RAW? The biggest drawback when it was released was that it was only available via Apple and was only compatible with Final Cut Pro X. They've since resolved this issue and made ProRes RAW compatible with most editing softwares and have expanded the devices you can now run it on. Kudos to them. The only real disadvantage to ProRes RAW is that it's kind of just stuck in its lane as an all-intra codec. We'll see if that is something that will change down the road, but for right now, this means that even though you get a bigger range of possible file sizes from the natural evolution of the codec, you still don't have much control. The result is you still get the file sizes the codec wants to give you. Now, since we do a lot on the Pocket 4Ks on this channel, I will tell you, unfortunately, again, that the Pocket 4K does not offer ProRes RAW, and why would they? It doesn't make sense to have a competitor's RAW be put in the same camera as your own proprietary RAW, which is BRAW. The ProRes options that you actually have available to you in the Pocket 4K are the following: ProRes 422, ProRes 422 HQ, LT, and Proxy. Now that we've kind of explained what ProRes RAW is and the ProRes options in the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, let's move over to Blackmagic's own proprietary BRAW codec. Now, my last video was a review of this specific codec, so if you want some more detail, then feel free to go and check out that video when you're ready. I've included the link in the description. But briefly, BRAW is Blackmagic Design's proprietary codec released just back in early 2019. Jumping right into the benefits, the best place to start is where we left off with the ProRes RAW codec. BRAW, unlike its Apple counterpart, is a hybrid style codec. So what this means is that ProRes' RAW biggest drawback is BRAW's biggest strength. BRAW has two separate settings, constant bitrate and constant quality, with multiple options available within each setting. This gives you much more control over the resulting file sizes. In the long run, this will also result in lower costs when it comes to purchasing the required storage size. BRAW does carry a lot of the same advantages that ProRes RAW has, but with BRAW you can get an automatic in-camera demosaic. You also get higher data efficiency and faster playback as well. This all gives the same benefit of not needing as much computing power to edit. The biggest drawback with BRAW is that with the demosaic, there's a partial debayer, which means you're not really truly working with raw footage at this point, but it's not really that big of a disadvantage. Whether or not this is a big deal is really up to you and what you exactly need. BRAW, though, also allows you to be able to edit things like ISO, color balance, etc. in post-production, making it super easy to fix something that you've already potentially shot wrong or had to shoot quickly. This, to me, is a major help when filming while traveling or in a run-and-gun scenario where you just don't have a ton of time to set up and are worrying about a host of other things while trying to film. All in all, BRAW is a major step forward for encoding high-quality footage at a lower file size and allowing for easier editing due to its highly optimized GPU and CPU accelerating and its vast metadata support. Now, I did want to point out one additional disadvantage, which at the time of this video applies to both codecs. As it stands, BRAW is not compatible with Final Cut Pro X. The same goes for ProRes RAW. You cannot edit that footage on Blackmagic's editing software, DaVinci Resolve. This really does feel like an oversight on both of their parts, or just another way to attempt to make more money. Who knows? Hopefully this will be resolved soon, and honestly, I mean, come on, like I'm making this video now, it could have changed this morning. If it does, I'll make sure to mention it in the comments below. While opinions and testing are done by various users of this camera are all over the place when it comes to using BRAW over ProRes and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, it's generally a good idea to use BRAW on the camera if you want to get the most information out of it and adjust the settings later in post. That being said, that debate for what looks the best is still up in the air, and if you have an opinion on this, which you think is better, please let me know in the comments because I'm sure you would love to. Feel like I'm missing something or said something wrong? Please let me know in the comments below, again, so we can correct it. Thanks for watching today's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our channel below and hit the notification bell to keep up to date with all of our latest videos. Until next time, this is John Owens with Frame Voyager.